the reasons, I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men. And a lot of it is because...
Let's stop on that, folks.
Oh my God, we had a great dinner. We had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table, your husband goes, but why? And I said, well, maybe because I can.
Yes.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Welcome to Male Reality Lessons, where topics are reviewed and discussed as iron sharpens iron. On Male Reality Lessons today, we're going to talk about the hot topic that's screaming across the YouTube airways and the internet regarding the older, successful women in our society who just can't seem to find a good man. Now, whether you're Vivica A. Fox or Tracee Ellis Ross, it seems that you may have had that ideal mate way earlier in life, but you thought the clock would never run out. And now you're way past your prime, going into your elderly years, 50 plus, and still decrying that you're not able to find a decent, suitable partner, or basically you're saying you haven't found a man that would submit to your requirements. I asked you, what type of relationship are you interested in? And then on top of everything else, you call dating haphazardly, especially younger guys, and acting like it's a flex? Well, sadly to say, ma'am, it is not.
She ain't never made a man wait 30 minutes.
Do I smell a whore?
And we're going to deep dive into this very point, because ultimately, any young man that you are dealing with is there for one thing and one thing only.
I've been with this guy for 5 years, so I wasn't really having sex with a lot of people. And so for one summer, I said, I'm gonna do whatever I feel in the moment that I feel it. There was this time where I was at this bar having this meeting with this girl, and this bartender was just giving me the eyes and just kept giving me these blueberry mojitos or something. And the bar was kind of empty. So I was like, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. And I'm like, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. There was. But I was like, there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. And so he's like, oh, okay, I got you. And so
This is a good story.
Right. And he come to get me the toilet paper, and we end up in the freezer. In the freezer.
Now look, the next time you hear a modern black woman talk about how black men don't date her seriously, or other races don't date her because of racism, colorism, or their 4C hair, I want you to grab this clip and play it for her. Many of these representatives lack a discipline, modesty, and self-respect as we watch this feminist panel attempt to one-up the other on how much of a 3 or 4 they are.
So winter is here, and either you acquiesce or you're content and happy with your singleness. Here we go.
Yes, that was hard.
All right.
More open than it should be, but I do date, and it's a fascinating adventure out there, you know. Mostly though, I think there's really good men out there. I think to a certain extent, I'm a very unique sort of unicorn of a woman. And so it's gonna take a unique person. And in the meantime, I have really learned how to live my life and enjoy it and not sit around waiting. I was saying to someone recently that I'm one of the first generations of choice, and it's not anymore, which really, there was a window and that has shifted. And I do think that that's going to change dating for women so much.
When you mean you've been the product of choice.
Yeah,
You mean
like the
just-
assumption of
yeah.
Roe v. Wade
Yeah.
and the ability for a woman to find her own delight and pleasure
Yeah.
and choice around how she navigates dating or how one would navigate dating. And we're in a different world now.
Right
and I'm
about that.
curious what that will look like. It frightens me for younger girls because of many reasons, obviously. But even with the systemic protection of Roe v. Wade,
Yeah.
I still was coming up against the cultural norms
Yeah.
of being a choiceful woman and owning my own body and my own choices and what it is that I'm looking for in a relationship and the ability to negotiate in a relationship what it is you want the relationship to be between the two
Yeah.
of you, as opposed to what society says it should be.
Well, I
and that's
don't-
different.
I don't know that we're gonna lose that. I think women, we're used to having a say in our lives.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether the whole movement is about sort of reharnessing us, you know,
Sure.
whether is it really about,
And-
you know,
and can that really
reproductive
work?
rights? Can that really work now that women are educated and we're being raised differently? I mean, the truth is that fathers are modernized.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
Mostly.
mostly they are, you know, and if you were to ask the average man, how are you raising your daughter? Because
If that man believes in marriage and successful relationships, he would raise her to be able to function in said environment just like out in the real world with whatever other endeavors she chooses to get involved in. It's not one size fits all.
because you love her. The average father that loves their daughter wants them to be excellent, you know, and they want them to have opportunity and freedom.
And
I mean,
freedom.
when you think about you don't want your daughter saddled marrying some guy that chose her because he just didn't think about anything else and was
who believes
ready
that
at
her
the
body
time.
is his choice.
Exactly. So I don't think a lot of leaders are thinking about that. You know?
Well, and they haven't been asked to, because I think it's not always a context that if it's an area that you don't have to think into,
Right.
But I think there is it is a genuine regular thought process for me. It's one of the reasons, I mean, we've talked about this, that often I date younger men, and a lot of it is because
Let's stop on that, folks.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
oh my God, we had a
Several
great dinner.
snaps
We
on that
we
one.
had a great dinner, by the way, where across the table your husband goes, "But why?" And I said, "Well, maybe because I can."
This too is false.
Yes, Marie.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
If you're enjoying the video, please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to Male Reality Lessons.
Toxic masculinity.
You don't know what that is.
I don't think there's such a thing. I don't believe in adding toxic before the term masculinity or before the term femininity. There are just toxic people. I don't subscribe to this idea of toxic masculinity. There are toxic men, there are toxic women, there are toxic people.
Tracy Tales.
But
You date a younger
I'm sorry.
But one of the
younger men.
reasons, though, that because I had to ask myself that question, I was like, "What is this about?"
Yeah.
Because I want a partner, and so often, and it's not just that I'm older. I'm also very embodied. I am a full, very whole person who knows myself, who is in charge of my life, and who lives a very full, just robust life. So it's not just age, it's like life experience and sort of a difference. But I had to ask myself the question, why? Why does this keep sort of coming up, other than they're hot and gorgeous?
There's that.
There's that. But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession, or whatever those things were, or prize, I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
Some bad news for you. You're fucking done, son. It's over.
I'm sorry.
No,
Craig.
I was going to say, it's a generational thing. So it didn't matter how you met them, or is it just
I'm
kind
not
of the
saying
guys
that's
you're
sort
meeting?
That's obviously
Too big of a
it's a
generalization.
generalization, but because I have dated men my age,
Yeah.
there is a difference. There is an openness that occurs with a younger man around whether it's gender fluidity or not even having an issue with homosexuality. I mean, something as basic as that,
Right, yeah.
that there's
No, I
times
hear you.
where I'll be, sitting across the table from somebody and just like, what did you just say?
Yeah, what century are you?
Like, oh my God.
Where's your horse and buggy?
Yeah, like, I'm so sorry.
And your bedpan.
Yeah, for real.
Chamber pot.
Yeah.
Stop it. Get some help.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon.
And there you have it. I've said this before on this channel, on many other videos, and I'll say it again. Today's modern women will say and do anything to justify their efforts. Whether you're masculine, you're not masculine enough, you're too feminine, not feminine enough, you have no emotional intelligence, you have too much emotional intelligence, they don't know if they're coming and going. And that's due to they're so far away from their natural intent when it comes to mating and becoming a wife in today's society. They rebel against any and everything at all costs that will not allow them to do whatever and whenever they want to do it. But I'll leave it up to you. In the comment section, give me your thoughts and opinions on this topic, as well as any other topic here on Male Reality Lessons. As always, I want to thank you for watching. Smash that like button and have a good day.